Hey friends, in this video I'm going to cover how I would run email marketing for Cristiano Ronaldo's underwear brand CR7. We're going to cover the pop-up they have, we're going to cover the entire funnel from start to finish and how we would improve it and also what we would add on top of what they're currently doing. Not much they're doing currently right now, so there's not much really on their side, but I'm still going to cover a couple of things that they're doing right well. Then I'm going to show you what I've rebuilt for them, so their pop-ups, their emails, their entire funnel, and give you all of the resources I used to make this for yourself right in the video. With that being said, here's his website that I've entered, and here's how they ask for the email. Immediately pop-up appears, and it says new to CR7. This is immediately the first mistake. Never just put your offer hidden in the subheadline. Put it on the headline. Say, we offer, subscribe for 25% off, subscribe for 25% off. You need to scream it, right? I really like this GIF, but not screaming it will make people not understand what this is about. Nobody almost reads the subheadline and they exit. They exit here, whatever they can. Another point, there was a study that showed that most people just want a commitment before even getting the email. So a commitment could be some sort of a game. It also could be just a question. Do you want a mystery discount? That's simple. And then once you click on that, it will redirect you to give your email. That's a commitment and it increases the lift of your conversion rate on your pop-up. So Ronaldo's pop-up is simply a box that says 25% off. Now it should be at least in the headline, but also, as I said, they don't gamify the pop-up. So what I did for them is create this little pop-up game. Let me show you that this pops up. It's a penalty shootout. As you can see, Ronaldo is a soccer player. Right? This is very relevant to him. And so then it says score a goal and get 25% off. They score and then we ask for the email basically, right? That's how you do it. And then immediately they get to copy the code, which wasn't the case for their pop-up. What it would be worth is that right now probably a plain discount pop-up converts at about 2 to 4%. If you take e-commerce store average, it converts about 6.9%. But the Gamified pop-up that I've just did will convert anywhere between 9 to 13%. That's from the total store visitors, the website visitors. Insanely high number, right? So it will almost like 6x or 5x their current number. And so now this is my favorite part over here. They sent me 2 emails. I've added things to cart, I've exited, I've added to checkout, I've exited 2 emails on a welcome flow. Thanks for signing up. This picture without even the underwear, like you can't even see the underwear, right? That's it. And then thanks number 2. Literally, thanks again. A month later. At least we see the underwear here. At least we have it here. Yes. So this is the problem. We sent 54 emails on their entire journey. There are 54 emails for the flows that they will enter, right? Maybe some customers won't enter every flow, but at minimum 20 for those that every single time go through your store or go through your email, right? So we need to make sure we up the game and we set up other flows. They currently have a welcome email. We need to have a welcome flow, which is 6 emails, abandoned cart, abandoned checkout, a browse abandonment, second order, cross-sell, win-back, never bought, unused code. 9 flows there are, right? That we need to set it up. So this is the first thing that I would do for their brand. And I would double down on the flows because flows make 18x the revenue per person than broadcast emails, right? They're not even sending broadcast emails, but I wouldn't even try. I would first focus on flows. And this is the quick ratio over here. Flows, the share of the flows, so the amount of emails the flow sends versus the campaign is like 5%. So if you send like 100 emails, only 5 of them are from the flows and 95 of them are campaigns. But share of revenue is different, right? Share of revenue is 41% for flows and campaigns 59%, while sending 5% of the total emails. Insane. This is a study, by the way. It's in clothing brands specifically. It was a study made and they identified the specific number, which is insane. So how many emails, how many flows Ronaldo actually needs? Currently, they have running a welcome flow, some sort of a welcome flow. They would need the others. Now, here's the most important part of the first emails that you need to send to your customers. There are 4 jobs that it needs to do. This email that Ronaldo sends only has just one email. It tries to fulfill for all of those jobs, right? Deliver the code, tell the story, help them choose whatever product you have, and close the sale. There are 4 jobs. This email tries to do it on its own. And so Omnisend, MailChimp, and Klaviyo are the biggest email senders on earth right now, right? The softwares. And they have met these 3 metrics they have given us. 90% is the lift. So you get 90% more orders from a 3 email welcome series than from a single welcome email, which is what they are doing, right? MailChimp says you get 51% in revenue lift by sending multi-email against single. And Klaviyo says there's 40 to 60% welcome flow open rates compared to 25% or 18% on campaign side. What this shows is that you need to actually make sure you're focusing on your welcome flow. You're double down on your welcome flow, and that's what I would do for their brand. Second, what I would do is passion brands abandon harder than anything else. That's just the fact, right, that we know. So the rates are all of the e-commerce stores, probably like 70%. This is the study that was made by Baymard University or Institute. Fashion apparel was 76%. And fashion, like top of the range of the fashion apparel brands, were 85%. I would keep it at here just because of Ronaldo and his brand. But yes, so I would set up a welcome flow, and I'm going to show you the welcome flow that I did for them, right? It's a very simple one that I didn't put much time into this, but at least it's something that we need to rely on. So here's the welcome flow that I did for them. It's not super fancy. I didn't put a lot of time into this, but I still made it better than them, of course. So we start by saying, welcome to CR7 underwear. You get 25% off your first order. Use code, like big words, and then immediately the button. And then we see Ronaldo here, so make sure we familiarize with them. And then we tell the story of the brand. After we tell the story of the brand, we give them the best sellers, right? The best selling products. And one more button over here. The second email goes into the one more time, the reminder, and then more story, right? Since 2013, we've been serving our customers. One more button. Why CR7? Well, CR7 was launched by Cristiano Ronaldo and Danish manufacturer, etc. What's special about this product? Why it works this way, etc. And then by the end, one more code and one more discount, the same discount. The third email goes more into objections. So which pack is yours, right? Shot 25% off. And people have objections about certain underwear, I guess. And so we're going to be tackling these kind of objections per product over here. And then by the end, we offer one more button and give them the 3 best sellers one more time. Then we go over details, and that's about it for that email. Now, email 4 is a reminder of a code. Actually, you're still unused. Your 25% welcome one has not been used yet. Claim 25% off. We see the thing with his abs, I guess. And then we go into the best sellers one more time. And we finish up by having one more button. And so number 5 email that I haven't done yet will be a simple plain text email. The one that you sent to your friend. And I would make it from Ronaldo. Like I would say, hey, it's Cristiano here. I saw you haven't used the code, etc. But you need to use it, whatever, right? Or maybe Cristiano's assistant. If they're like, well, we don't want to ruin his brand. It doesn't ruin your brand, but we don't want to ruin his brand. So maybe Cristiano's assistant. We'll just write it as a plain text email to those people. Converts really, really well. Alongside this, I will create them an abandoned series. So there's 3 abandoned cart emails that they need to have. It's browse abandonment, cart abandonment, and checkout abandonment. And so what happens with browse abandonment is that people just view the product. They've entered your list, so you know who they are. They view your product and they leave. In this case, you send them 2 emails. You send them within like an hour and within a day, right? Send them 2 emails. I would do that. Second is cart abandonment. Cart abandonment is someone went there, added to cart, and exit. 3 emails come from this flow. And then finally, the big boss is the checkout abandonment, where the most money is. We set 4 to like 6 emails for that. And In here, people checked out, like literally added shipping, went to that thing. They were already pulling their wallet to take their card, and they exit. And this is the hottest. That's why I send more emails to them. So the general rule of this is that email 1 reminds, email 2 names the reason why they choose you. Email 3, there's no code until email 3. So make sure you have no discount code until email 3 because you will train your customers on discount. And email 4 says, hey, you need to claim your discount that we offered you in email 3, right? Or email 4 should be a discount, like you can change it out, right? This is how I would recover their current sales that they have. And there's another layer to flows, which is underwear is never like a fashion. Nobody sees underwear unless you really advertise it, right? Now, the thing about underwear specifically, and apparel specifically, is that people rebuy it a lot, especially underwear. Like, it's not for fashion, right? It's more so for use, for comfy, for having something comfortable. And so every order makes the next one likelier. Yeah. So far, we've welcomed them warm. We got the most amount of money from welcome flow. Then people who went through that welcome flow, went to the card and exit, we recovered those, right? We recovered all of those sales. Now the next is to make them repeatable. And the way we make them repeatable, especially for an underwear brand, is so easy because these people are coming for repeat purchase. Like they need this constantly. Underwear rips or underwear just gets old. And it's not really for fashion. It's not like a bag that gets, ripped. It's not for fashion that you take care of it, right? You just wear it every single day. And so there's 27% chance, this is a study that has been made, right? 27% chance of a second order after the first, specifically for apparel. There's 49% chance of a third order once they've bought twice. And 62% chance of fourth order once they've bought 3 times, right? And so knowing this, I will offer them 2 flows, cross-sell and second order. These are 2 separate flows. Cross-sell flows, make sure you sell some other item that they haven't bought yet that makes your current item better. And second order, make sure they bought the same thing once again, right? 2 flows again, cross-sell, second order. Would set this up. Now there's also people who have bought something, have bought, and then they exit, right? So once again, quick reality check. We've welcomed them. We've recovered our sales. We now make them repeatable. And so there are 2 more categories of people. People who've bought once and never bought since, and people who haven't bought anything whatsoever ever, right? And so there are 3 flows that we're going to implement for all of these people. Win-back flow, never bought flow, and unused code flow. So win-back flow comes up when somebody bought something, they haven't bought anything since, right? And so in here, in a replenishment category, win-back has an unfair advantage. For CR7, this win-back flow has an unfair advantage. You know roughly when the last pack wore out, so the timing is not a guess. Win-back usually handles some sort of a objection. Now, win-back is more so a reminder type of flow, right? Most of the times people just forget to buy or forget that they even bought this thing from you. Maybe they've bought it from something else. Maybe there are other products are mixed up with yours. So they simply forget. Win-backs are mainly kind of forget-based emails. Never bought flow is more so objection. So if they've never bought, there's a reason. So you need to tackle objections and you need to show proof and testimonial. Unused code, there's like 2 emails for that one. 2 reminders, that's it. For unused code, if a person haven't used their code but still is opening your emails, just send them 2 emails, a reminder, and the last reminder. That's about it. Now, we have 9 flows. So now we've covered every single person that there is, right? Every single position that they could be, we've covered. We covered them all, we generate more revenue, everything is great. But the problem is most people land in spam. In fact, CR7 just landed in spam on my channel, on my Gmail, right? Not spam, but the promotion box. And so how do we get out of that? I'm going to show you right now. First, we're going to authenticate their current mailboxes, technical setup. Then we'll make sure we only mail engaged people first, right? So people who are opening our emails within 30 days or opening our emails within like 60 days or clicking on our emails. We're going to mail them first. So then once they open and click one more time, Google trusts us more. We will then sunset the rest. So a sunset is basically cleanup of your list, right? The flow whose entire job is to stop sending. It lifts every other number on this page. So give them the flow, the sunset flow, saying, hey, basically we're gonna stop emailing. This is the biggest discount that you'll ever get. Otherwise, just bye-bye, right? This is the sunset flow. And all the time limit tools take me to do all of this is 4 weeks. So this was how I would fix Ronaldo's emails. And as far as I'm concerned, we've done pretty much everything to make sure their brand is successful and profitable with emails. Now, if you want to access this very presentation in the pop-ups and the current email that I said for Ronaldo, there's a second link in the description. You can click on it and access all of it. So if you're an e-commerce brand and you want all of these flows set up for you and generate more revenue from emails, that's the first link in the description. Book a call with me and I'll speak to you there. Other than that, subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in the next video.